afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Langelang Sky. Between the south, we got Spanky fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Fighting here for the 2nd Panzer Division versus in the north, we got RpgHunter fighting for the United States of America, freedom and democracy, taking on the role here of the 5th Armored Division. And we're looking at mechanized Ostrom and mechanized assault with machine gun, sniper and infantry or mine bulletins versus heavy cavalry, rifle and infantry. And all infantry bulletins there for RpgHunter. He's going for a double rifleman start. Spanky is so far going for a double Pioneer MD42 start. Could in theory be a T2 rush here that Spanky is planning at. Haven't seen theirs in a bit, and certainly not versus the Americans, which I do find tend to resist the T2 rushes a lot better than most of the factions, due to the fact they can quickly get out as captain, and then follow that up with a Stuart, which tends to sort of minimize. Plus, it overall means you have less ability to sort of push back the riflemen, which tends to be, I think, also very important versus the Americans. But points there being seized, points there being seized. It's interesting to note, of course, Spanky's not going for the Western fuel point. He's more so far focused on securing the centre, which is a bit interesting considering there's not really a lot of resources around that as such in that department, so not the most vital fuel points. We got another MD42 there on the way for Spanky, and the 2nd Panther Division Pioneers going there for the CoH2 point, but looks at Spanky here, actually playing pretty aggressively with his Tier 2 rush. So far anyway. Small rifle on the way there for RpgHunter, going there for the CoH2 point. And that might actually force us to respond here westward, but so far there's nothing there. MD42 just remains here, could try and move up a bit further to cover the Pioneers, but no sign of that. Reason's going for the fuel, and that causes Spanky's Pioneers to wear off, at least until they get some support. Draft there, halted by the MD42, 1200 rounds per minute. Come on, Otto, show them what Germans are made of. Lead? Maybe. And there you go, a 3rd MD42. That's definitely one of the more heavier one there, sort of Tier 2 rushes. Basically 2 Pioneers, 3 MD42s. That's a lot of lead he can pour in the general direction of RpgHunter. Of course, does require a bit of maneuvering to pull off. But if he does pull it off reasonably well, I mean, he could do a lot of damage there to RpgHunter, at least by time there for something bigger to arrive. In the west here, we got Pioneers with MD4 support here. Rations they could find themselves suppressed, but no, MD42 has to sort of quickly relocate again and then sets up in the same spot. Make up your mind, Gunther. Make up your mind. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to find, the most aesthetically pleasing position for my machine gun gewehr. What the hell are you talking about? You're here to shoot Americans, not do art. But killing Americans is an art to me. Oh, shut up. I'll have you scoffing Latines for the next months. Points there standing about there. The Pioneers MD42 there, we got another MD42 coming up the flank, though he's attempting to. No take up yet there for Spanky, though he could take up there. Rifle halted here in the centre by the MD42, the Pioneers. But there we go, the flank could be slightly crumbling here. Needs to turn about the MD42 to deal with that pretty rapidly. Pioneers swing up to finish off the Riflemen. Meanwhile, the MD42 is falling back, going points with the Pioneers and the MD42. RpgHunter so far reacting a bit awkwardly to that. He's got 3 Riflemen up, but he's not taking up, or he's actually bringing up more Riflemen at the moment, so perhaps the heavy machine gun player from Spanky is simply put throwing off. That's actually allowing Spanky to play the machine guns here a lot more aggressively and hold a lot more territory. You'd think he'd actually manage here without any infantry to work with them. We've got fine here some take up for Spanky and the 2nd Panzer Division. Right now vaulting over the fence. They'll try and go for the gap there between the 2 machine guns. Still nothing going on there for RpgHunter. He needs to make a choice very, very soon. There we go, MD42 set running, other one setting up there. And there we go, full treaty from Spanky in the centre of the sheer and rifle pressuring was simply too much there for his machine gun crews to sort of withstand. Light mechanized company now available here for Spanky and the 2nd Panzer Division. Rifleman could be pushing forward here for the CoH2 point, then we got the MD42 pretty much preventing easy movement through here. Rifleman there, and he's finally, no, he's not taking up, he's going for grenades. An interesting move here, but still he's flooding a lot of manpower, a bit of fuel and a bit of munitions. I mean, grenades could work out quite well versus all the MD42s, though of course he could also go for a mortar, just for say the smoke screen. But grenades could certainly also work out quite well, in particular he actually managed to flank an MD42, grenaded, and he has a good chance of wiping it. So we'll have to see how that one works out. Rifleman there almost finishing off the Pioneers there with the M1 Garants. Points there being seized, and here as well. Like to make a nice company up. Banker on the way there as well for Spanky. What would he go for first? Half track, Panther Grenadiers, 222, or the Pack 40. There we go. Grenade attempt in this case, it doesn't quite have the impact there against Spanky's machine and Gewehr. I think down here he's... Oh, there we go. Finally taking up. It is the captain. Unsurprisingly, plus an ambulance there for RpgHunter and the 5th Armored Division here. MD4 to get on its own. And we got the half-track on the way there for Spanky. We got the half-track. Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen, will it be for transport and reinforcement, or will it be for flamethrowers? We shall have to find out here. Finding in the center MD4 to the caught by the rifleman as it tries to shift about a bit there. Back in the house with it.
Heavy truck, ready for orders.
There we go. Ambulance out for RpgHunter. And there we go. 250 from the half-track out. There looks like he just spent some munitions on possibly there go flamethrowers. That means definitely no upgrade immediately here for the half-track. So reinforcement and transport possibly here for his men using the 251 Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen. Finding position in the center here from RpgHunter, trying to control the area here. Interesting move. I'll probably place one more round here to help defend the center victory point. This one is a bit easy to put up, just move up Pack 40 here and begin shooting away with. So perhaps not the fully best position. Of course, we would see how they're actually lasting, how much damage it ends up doing there to Spanky. Rifle under fire there from the Pioneers and the half-track. More flamethrowers by the looks on the way here from... No, it look like it. Here in the west, parts being secured. MD4 moving up west as well. Ambulance moving up close to the front. We got the captain here with a pack Howitzer following up for RpgHunter. Interesting choice here to go for the pack Howitzer. Not saying anti-tank gun, but the pack Howitzer, which of course can be quite effective. I mean, overall, Spanky does have a lot of support weapons, so a pack Howitzer could be quite effective, though of course, so could some mortars earlier. MD42 there versus the 50 caliber position. That's not quite working out there. It's pretty slow work there for Spanky, though he is doing some damage. We've got bazookas there flying at the 251. Flies quite past the mark. Their Pioneers are up nearby here, allowing them to reinforce the front, and again making it harder here for RpgHunter to push back Spanky, in particular with just all the machine guns as well there. It makes any sort of head-on assault here very much more costly, in particular since it's not popping smoke. We got there, by the way, a doctoral choice. This heavy cavalry there from RpgHunter, opening up for ranges and the lights. Grenades going off with MD42 almost guarded. Forced to fall back. Half-track needs to get there as well. Pioneers burning away at so's Yankees. And up here, Pioneers MD42 standing about here. Pack cards are there arriving for RpgHunter and the 5th Armored. Half-track needs to further fall back here. Close to getting looked out. Not good, not good. Grab the Pack 40 here for Spanky and the German army. And back here, troops here reinforcing. Veterans who won for the Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen and 1 kill. Straight push here for the cutoff point by RpgHunter. Telemines here, good spot there by the way from Spanky. Pack opens up there and the captain and MD42 joins in the front. Sets about repairing the half-track. No sign of Panther Grenadiers so far yet for Spanky though, or tech up. Some Panther Grenadiers could I think be quite good for Spanky, which only gave us some infantry elements to that way challenge some of the RpgHunter's riflemen. RpgHunter of course might eventually consider weapon actions and BAR, so of course it could be planning Rangers with Thompsons pretty fast as well, so I mean that does make sense. MD4 to the flank by the rifleman, push back. Not enough time though for a quick grenade, and Captain there trying to get away is sadly just continually being suppressed there. But the pack out here should prove quite a potent asset there for RpgHunter. It is still quite good. It just has gotten rather overshadowed by the sheer effectiveness of the mortar. Though of course, some players might in fact be using the pack out to also get ready for it once you know the mortar gets nerfed. Half-track moving up for a southern push here, western side being lost here to the captain and the rifleman. M42 moving in, they might want to shift the bestest forces, but no. Eastern push here, Panther Grenadiers on the way for Spanky. Rifleman under fire there from the half-track and its machine gun on front. And they're going to be forging up there, once bobbing up the captain, the old friend there. Rifleman under fire and Rifleman coming under fire as well. There are a lot of machine gun fire all over the place here, though varying levels of effectiveness there from Spanky. Panther Grenadiers are almost done. We've yet to see a doctrine there from Spanky though. Yet to see a doctrine. Pioneers informing about there. Nasty on the Pack 40, wiping out half the crew. Leaving Fritz and Franz quite blasted. Troops are being suppressed again, grabbing the fuel point there, but overall we can see that very much Spanky's on the defensive against RpgHunter's continuous attacks. Relentlessly sort of attacking now, supported by artillery. He's also got an anti-tank gun ready to support now. Half-track needs to get away there before it gets knocked out. It is low on health again, but it's also close eventually to good work there. Panther going to be pushing forward with support from the Pioneers. After falling back, he MD42 should be able to defend the fuel pond there. Though at the same time, you can see he's actually launching a two-pronged attack, meaning MD42 will be forced to fall back here. Unit wiped out though. Quite a loss there for RpgHunter. A full rifle squad here wiped out by the Panzer Grenadiers and the Sturmgewehrs. MD42 though overwhelmed and sent running as well. Half-track could use the support here push to defend the western fuel point. And they're going to tank and straight into the VT2. MD42 quickly suffering losses there and he could get it wiped. We got smoked on down on the MD42 to cover the retreat of the anti-tank. I believe it's too late. It is too late. A bold attempt here by RpgHunter. At least a brave attempt, but ultimately in vain. Panther goes here versus Rifleman again. He should get up the half-track to allow him to reinforce. That would basically mean the Rifleman here would lose out. Burn grenade off. Doesn't even hurt the fence. Come on, get the half-track up there. Mittlerschützen Panzerwagen. Go. There we go. Step on it, Helmut. Our help is needed. To the Wehrmachtmobil. And there you go. Reinforcing the Panzer Grenadiers. At the front line again, over meaning they don't have to retreat. And that rather puts the rifleman in an awkward spot. Plus the support there from the machine gun there on the half-track. Close game VT2. We got Rangers flanking there. We got the MD42 covering the flank there. Nicely done. He could even pop into the armor piercing rounds. Well, if he had the veterans for it. Panthers need to get slightly positioned better there. Otto's just standing about there while shots are flying. There you go, moving hit. 4-man back. Then loses 1 man, but still the rifle ultimately pushed back. There we got another attempt here, button grenade, but this doesn't quite work out. Veterans won for them though. Rangers to the Thompsons. Got a big push into the centre as well though. MD42s with Pack 40 there. And to tank gun, I think he was just wrecked it. No, we actually stole it. We did steal it and resecure it for the fatherland. Cat moving, needs to get the half-track out of there. Spanky, schnell. Ach, scheiße. Pioneer standing about here reinforcing. No further take-up here for Spanky. Lost the machine gun crew though, bit of a loss here, and there we go. You can see here that RpgHunter is rapidly capitalizing on it to grab it, or not. So, who mans the machine gun? I don't know, I don't speak German. I don't think you need to speak German to use that one, Carl. Are you sure? Yeah, I think death is a universal language. Alright. Need to repair the half-track a bit though. Range moving up against the Panzer Grenadiers. Pioneers here, they're leading a nice counter-attack, forcing the captain and the MD42 to retreat. And Panzers here might actually be a bit hard to say, but there you go. We got a quick grenade there from the Rangers, forcing the Panzer Grenadiers out of there. After still not being repaired, we got more Panzer Grenadiers there. Still no tech up there for Spanky, and up north, nothing further there going on for RpgHunter. He could, of course, try and play for the Pershing, but right now that would just be silly. He's got like 7 points to go. He needs to get up tanks before that, and there we go. He does go for the tanks. 5th Armoured is now moving towards the armour. Rifleman laying down the smoke screen against the MD42. Pack Howitzer landing a hit as well there. And Pack 40, whoa, moving up very aggressively on his own there with serious support on side there. That is a very aggressive and also rather reckless move there from Spanky. That could easily backfire on him. Troops are being suppressed here in the centre point being grabbed. Well, west being grabbed there by the Pioneers. Pack grabbing the cut-off point. And a tank in there standing about. And half-track still hasn't been repaired. It's VT2 though, so again, I mean, he's done pretty well with that. And again, he'd rather gain the edge here versus the Rifleman. So, I mean, not all bad. Just needs to get it fixed up. And he also needs to tag up. Still, he's got 2 Panzer Grenadier squads now. That is a lot more firepower. Plus, with the double anti-tank guns. I mean, it's not so much of a rush. But either way, though, he needs to prepare for some armour. He's planning tier 4, though. He needs to also begin pushing for it now, I think, to really get there on time. Panzer Grenadier moving up. Captain standing about here. Pioneers laying down S-mines to make it hard here for RpgHunter's men to about there freely. Good work. Panzer Grenadiers push back. Almost right, and there go annihilated. Quite a loss there to Spanky and the 2nd Panzer Division. I think the Pack Howitzer they had a hand in that. Maybe not, but either way, someone died quite terribly. MD42 up here, quickly holding an advance there. Half-track is still not being repaired. Seems a bit of a shame. Then we got Mechanised for Spanky. Mechanised Doctrine. Rangers versus Pioneers there. Grenades off, blowing up. Whoa. Quite a grenade there. Blowing up pretty much the facade, collapsing the entire building. Grabbing the points of the Pioneers. Centre works. Captain, Ranger, right from there. Strong force, but at the same time, it's also it's easy to just pack a machine gun now. Another pack out hit there, getting a good hit on the Panzer Grenadiers. Sherman on the way there for RpgHunter, and again Spanky's got, well, he's finally taking up there, but he's going to have to rely a lot on his anti-tank guns to really have a chance here. Because if he supports that Sherman pretty well with his Rangers and his Riflemen there, I mean, the MD-42s and anti-tank guns might struggle a bit there. So sort of a nasty force competition that RpgHunter's getting built up here versus Spanky. Probably got the MD-42 here saving the day at least for now. He could try and lay down a smoke screen here, but looks like he's not going to do that. Sherman almost done there for RpgHunter. We got Pioneers trying to flank up behind here, but they're going to run into some quite determined American resistance. And the pack howitzer, which is Veterans 1 by the way. So Spanky is still on defensive versus RpgHunter and the 5th Armoured. We got, so he is actually playing here for tier 4. In which case again, probably could have done it A sooner and might have wanted to at least a fuel cache to really support it, but we'll have to see how it works out. So far again, though he's got 2 anti-tank guns, again one of them stolen, so it's not all bad, but it's not really necessarily the most efficient move there. Panthers need to retreat though, before sitting up here. Sherman rolling ahead, they're 50 caliber on the way there, the Mardus. Explosive shells loaded already to blow up some crowds. But they did also use white phosphorus shells. 50 caliber up. And almost done with tier 4, in which case you should probably prioritize with both Pioneers once you've got the half-tech good to go. Second, Panzer Division's Panzer Grenadier element here in this sector seems to be rather low since there's only one squad, but plenty of Pioneers. But there you go, hard work with the heavy Panzer Corps. A Panther here would certainly have him out quite nicely, certainly establish some dominance versus the Shermans, to put it mildly. Half-tech rushing westwards, but with no infantry in it. Hey, Otto, yeah, maybe we should have gotten some Panzer Grenadiers with us. Nah, we can do it all on our own. I think you're missing the point of a Schützenpanzerwagen here, Otto. I think you are. Sherman westwards there. Machine guns, anti-tankers under fire. We got the other anti-tank mob support here in the west. Panzer gun at the end before there goes. Sherman rushes in. Anti-tankers have good fire there, except the one is pulling away there, leaving only the American one to deal with the Sherman. After engaging the re-echelons, Sherman just keeps driving in circles here, by the way, good move, but it's shooting at the machine gun instead of the anti-tank gun. The main gun that is, that's probably a bit of a mispriority. Got the machine gun out, Pack 40 opens up the Sherman, needs to pull it back. M1 there, turning out here ready to deal with the Sherman, except it didn't quite set up fully, so Sherman should be able to get away here. Having done some damage there for America. Freedom, democracy. And Spanky's a bit a while there away from the Panther. At the council rate there, he's going to take at least, I don't know, 7 to 8 minutes. We can get the fuel point there. That should speed things up a bit there, putting him closer to 5 to 6 minutes for a Panther. Problem is, though, in the same period of time, RpgHunter can get at least 1 more Sherman, if not 2 more Shermans, particularly considering all the map he's got. That means here that Spanky's Panther is going to be quite an overtime, and again, that's going to be where it's really helpful. He nabbed an American anti-tank, and in part because it has a really, really good rate of fire. It roughly, I think, shoots twice as fast as a Pack 40. Which is also why I never really agreed on all those penetration buffs for it. Whoa! Hello. He's going for a pack howitzer. Not pack howitzer, he's going for an actual howitzer. Not the pack one, the proper one. So it looks like Spanky's had enough of that, and he's going to show those American toy boys a real piece of artillery. Captain there, they're being suppressed by the MD-42, pinned down and ground down into the dirt. Sherman moves up, he got MD-42 covering the flank here. We got the American MD-42 that's joining back in there, firing down a lot of bullets at the MD-42 there, which hits Veteran 3. Center works, no anti-tank to stop the Americans quite fast enough, and regular howitzer halfway done. It's also time here for the mid-game analysis. Concentration damage-wise, close to each other. Kills-wise, not good for Spanky. Hunter's actually ahead of him, and he's also a bit on the back foot. So right now, looking rough for Spanky. I mean, army value-wise, Hunter's getting hit there. He's got 2 Shermans out now. Spanky has got a big fat 0 in the Panzer department. Again, he's got 2 anti-tank guns, though. So it's not like he's been completely caught with his leader holding down his angles, but he might want to fasten them a bit just to be sure. Resource float-wise, pretty sort of close there to each other, so no one's sort of making any silly moves there. In terms of points held, again, a bit rough there for Spanky, a bit rough. The lack of infantry has meant he's been able to push up hard there, and particularly that also sort of left the half-track not to be able to push there. Again, had he sort of used the Panther gun to do this offensively, supported by the half-track, I think would have held a bit more ground. And again, the Panther play also means he's a bit more sort of a defensive reserve position until he can get out the Panther. And without a fuel cache, that will certainly delay it. And because he went for the howitzers, he can't build fuel caches because, again, he went for the big artillery pieces or try and blow up the Americans that way. And it could be helpful. I mean, he does have the pack house he wants to silence, plus he could do some damage on the infantry element. So it's not like it's a terrible idea, but in the current circumstances, I probably aimed at least for fuel cache and then try to just rush for the Panther as soon as possible, because, I mean, he's really going to need that Panther. That's going to pretty much be his savior here, sort of get out of this mess right now. Because, again, by going straight for heavy Panther, I mean, he's pretty much just chained himself to it. I mean, either he sinks or he somehow pulls his way through. So, bit of an all-in there, in theory there from Spanky, at least strategically. So, again, he's basically got to survive onto the Panther, and then he's got to use the Panther correctly. No pulling alcoholics here, let's just put it like that. I mean, he's got some mines, so I'm promised to getting spotted. There's still one mine there, but this one's certainly going to get dealt with if he's not careful. But still, it's a nice idea, though, preparing ahead of time there with tailor mines. But he needs to basically stall, push up here, and he also needs to push up on the right flank. He needs to try and cut off RpgHunter from his fuel, but also just try and launch a flank assault for him. Maybe try and catch a bit off guard and force him sort of, when he's got on the defensive, to defend the larger territory. But beyond that, right now, priority is just to survive until the Panther and then try not to lose it like an idiot. As for RpgHunter, I mean, he's looking pretty good there. I'd advise him to lay down some mines again. He's got most of the map now. That's usually, again, where you want to mine up, make it harder for your opponent to take the map back. And certainly, again, he should be expecting some kind of heavy armor, so again, mines would further lessen the impact there. I mean, any Panther target that hits a mine is suddenly going to look a lot less dangerous. So mines here, again, in that department would also serve RpgHunter quite well. If he's planning for the Pershing, get a few cash up or two would certainly help him. And of course, there's also, he could just right now, in fact, just go for combined arms with a few tanks and an infantry attack to do a lot of damage there to Spanky if he sort of pulls off an attack from, say, the right angle. That could also prove to be quite potent there. But not much else, so let's return to the fight and see what happens next. Sherman there takes hits from the Pack 40. Going there for the mines, going to sweep them out so no American tanks get caught on them. There we go. Growing points there. That's almost done. Sherman Rifleman moving westwards there. S-mine field here, the slight detonator, there you go. Joe sets one off, but mostly gets off with a bullet concussion and a blowing eardrum. Sherman there, number 2, almost good to go. Panther Grenadier sent forcefully back. We are about 2.5 minutes there away from a Panther for Spanky. Pioneer's been got, which needs to be careful out. No minefield, there we go, he's going to get wiped. Annihilate, yeah. Pro tip there, don't move about in your own S-mine fields if there's tank nearby, anything with high explosive ability, because they can set off the mines as well, killing your men. Big 2 points while Spanky's behind. They've got a smoke screen down there actually to prevent the MG42 from firing, but also the anti-tank gets from immediately firing as well. Good move there by RpgHunter versus Spanky. Certainly seems like that smoke is sort of just more and more catching on amongst players, which is nice to see, by the way, though it only took, 3 years for smoke to become part of the meta game, despite being there all from the beginning. Oh well, better late than never. And that hopefully means we can then begin moving towards more expert use of smoke. We'll see. Sherman there strikes for freedom, democracy, and a big hole in the frontal armour, in this case from a heat round. Stunning up the crew there. The crew driver making sure everything's attached still, and then got another hit. We got a smoke screen down there, saving the Sherman just in the nick of time there. Half track disadvantage again reinforced at the front line. Up westwards there, Pioneer's a bit under fire there from the Sherman. Fuel point lost again, delaying the Panther once more. Howitzer is yet to reveal itself, though. It is yet to sort of unleash hell upon the Americans. Anti-tank gets half-tech moving westwards. His Panther Grenadiers nearby as well. They should still keep the half-tech nearby the Panther Grenadiers. Sherman under fire from the M1. 50mm shell after 50mm shell going through the frontal armor there, almost knocking it out. Small victory there for Spanky. And we got a third Sherman on the way there for RpgHunter, who's not at all at the moment planning for a Pershing. That's definitely not a bad idea, though. With 2 Shermans out, it would certainly be safer to go for a Sherman than otherwise. So, did he actually lose? Oh, he lost one here to Tellermine. That's right. We forgot about the Tellermine, at least I did. And then he hits the Sherman into it on the way back. Good work there for Spanky. Good work. That's definitely a victory then. That's a tank down, which means once his Panther hits, he's going to have a bit of a chance there. Rangers there being pinned down, but we got the Rifleman Cap, Reations Cap flanking in there. MG4 is about to deal with it, and does so just in the nick of time. Half-track halfway to virtually free. He's been doing quite good work here with the half-track, though again, could be working with a bit more infantry to, you know, play it more offensively, to support more offensively. But anyways. And how to fire here, I think he sent the pack out, they're running with a few good 105mm shells. No, by the way, they did activate a bigger gun, which shot sort of caliber-wise the same shells, just with a much bigger range. It was known as the 10cm Canone. Basically just sort of a more real-line work and could just really hammer targets from much further away. Little fun fact there. But yeah, he can in a second here go for the Panther. 2 seconds. 5 seconds. There you go. Panzer Kampfwagen 5. He definitely needs to get out there as quickly as possible. Schnell. I mean, the later he waits for the Panther, the worse it's going to be here. Because, again, he can't afford to wait for it. So, come on, Spanky. Mach schnell. You wanted it? Now get it. For Deutschland. There we go. Panther on the way there for Spanky. We got aerial contact called in by the Major. Nice move there by RpgHunter trying to check out there what Spanky's up to. Almost lost the Sherman there, turned to tank guns. And there we go, kaput. Quite a loss there for RpgHunter. I'm not sure I kept the Sherman there in that position, no infantry support or anything. I mean, generally you want infantry near tanks, part of the spot for them to make sure they don't walk into any anti-tank gun ambushes. Yes, they're being suppressed, pushed back. Panther was there being reinforced near the half-track, the 251, which again halfway to 23 there. Rangers trying to push forward, but instead get pinned down and sawed down. Panther almost done there for Spanky. Whoa, pack out way too close there, way too close. I mean, this is where mortar can help from laying down a smoke screen to then cover up the assault. But sadly, RpgHunter, while using some smoke, hasn't quite gone on to the level of using it to cover his assaults. In fact, he's calling in another pack out here. And Panther arrives here for Spanky and the Fatherland. No sitting about waiting for a Tiger this time around and then, you know, having tagged up going for the Tiger instead. That was silly. But there you go, pinned up machine gun away for the Panther, moving ahead there fast, but they need to keep infantry by it. Spanky, infantry. Understood song? In this case, there is fortune that RpgHunter, like most Americans, end up going for heavy cavalry, didn't lay down any mines. North Panthers then getting the pack out, Sherman then getting the Sherman, or the Panther. Not the Sherman, didn't catch it, so it's smoke screen down here. I think it was up there. It was there to basically cover the retreat of the pack howitzer from the Panther Grenadiers who have now hit Victory Feet. Panther moving up there. Still needs some infantry by it. More Panther Grenadiers in this regard would work quite well for Spanky to support his Panther. Almost got the pack howitzer there, almost got it, almost, but no, not quite there. Panther sent running there after Steiner got blown to Kingdom Come. Careful there, Spanky, don't just rush it in like that on his own. Crushing, there you go, a bit more damage, need to get some Pioneers on it. Problem is he's down to 1 Pioneer squad at the moment. Replacement Pioneers would be good, but also just more Panzer Grenadiers, more infantry to work with the Panther. 8 kills on the howitzer, he's doing more damage now, shooting around here the area, trying to catch some of his units as they move out of the base. Good work there by Spanky at this point. Bit risky against just blind fire, but he's going to deal with his opponent's menace somewhat. And there we go, Panzer Grenadiers. There we go. Work them together and your Panther will be reasonably strong. You could also consider throwing on the spotting scope just to take better advantage of its range. Sherman striking there, anti-tank guns and Panther not quite close enough there, but he's pulling back in this case. There you go. Baited the Sherman into the lane of fire of the pack, and we got target weak point there, stunning the Sherman, allowing the Panther to get a good kill. And right here in this case, RpgHunter's not brought up any anti-tank and support. And there you go. Panther moves up, gets a good hit, bazooka hit, but he might be able to get it there. Half-track though gets knocked out. 9. A mistake here, tactical mistakes. Don't know why sending the half-track there, but he lost it. Oh, Spanky. Why did you have to get it killed like that? Still almost got the Sherman again. Looks like RpgHunter at this point is now playing for the Panther. Oh, not Panther, but the Pershing tank to that way challenge the Panther more efficiently. I guess. And of course just begin blasting German infantry afterwards.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
According to some claims, they've yet to sort of find any way to sort of really research them, though the Pershing and the Panther were apparently sort of roughly in the same level, except the Panther had some slight advantage over the Pershing. But again, no way of actually checking that. Just some claims that seem to here and there. But it's an interesting thing to note, though. Interesting thing to note. Again, I have no real way of sort of studying the veracity there, or even the claims, why they claim it. Got a 2-2 following up for Spanky. He's probably going to do it for the reconnaissance, then to support the Panther spotting ahead for it, though he's actually still going for the spotting scope there anyways. There you go, Panther going to do this. Panther here, a strong tactical unit in the west. Rangers, they're going to come in and fire there from the Panther, and the Panther going to do this. That's a lot of bullets, that's a lot of death, and that's a lot of CoH2. There you go, Rangers are running here. 2-2 following up here for Spanky. Spotting scopes on that one as well, unsurprisingly. Sherman got to go again there, and he's very close to the Pershing. He's very close to the Pershing there versus Spanky. Mr. RpgHunter too, just firing there, not really making much of an impact at that point. Not sure why he's firing there, but it's certainly having zero impact. Oh, Sherman sending down. He knows there's a Panther in the area, so why RpgHunter sending down his Sherman there is a very good question. But generally do not send in a lone medium tank into an area where you know there's a Panther operating. Although it does help him that Spanky seems to reverse his Panther towards the Sherman. In this case, he's lucky that his opponent hasn't switched out to armor-piercing rounds. And in this case, Spanky then further messes things up a bit there. Oh well. Still, his Panther stands strong against the Amerikanern.
We are losing a sector.
Quick move here, Ostman, oh not Ostman, Tujub's up there. Info needs to turn about a bit. You could consider a counterattack going through here with the Panther moving up and then heading towards the cut-off point there. Panther's moving after the captain there. With their assault rifles, we've got the major coming from the road. MB-42 nearby as well coming from the other side of the road. Plus we've got the pack howitzers coming as well from the other side of the road on top of that. We exchange the line of 5 of the machine guns, riflemen pushing forward as well here. Panther's need to retreat soon. We got the howitzer they're firing in. He's bunched up a lot of troops in the same spot, so that rather makes some good targets for the howitzer. It's a good reaction there from Spanky. Gets the pack howitzer, almost gets the anti-tank gun. That's basically what he gets for bunching up so close to the howitzer. And that's a really bad idea there from RpgHunter, and as you can see there, Spanky's howitzer is reaping quite the harvest on that. Need to get the Panther moving up to support here in the centre though. Need to push forward for Germany. Bomb grenade also gets the rifleman. Good work. Get out of the firing zone. RpgHunter, he's almost lost the captain as well there. Panther moving ahead. We got bit 2 there for the howitzer, increasing the rate of fire, essentially by meaning less cooldown time. And the action there, Panther opens up. Oh, misses. So, of course you can't quite see there in turn enough. There you go, gets a penetrating hit there on the Sherman. In a rare display while it's on the move, where the Panther really has not good accuracy. Following up with the command tank here to support the Panther and infantry. Sherman down to half health. But again, very close to the Pershing. He just needs a bit of manpower, can roll it up there versus the Germans. Howitzer down though. No, that's actually the pack 40, not the howitzer. Never mind. Betty 3 pack out on the fire here from the command tank and the Panther before it retreats. Major there trying to cover up, and there you go, Pershing on the way for RpgHunter and the 5th Armoured, submitted by the 3rd Armoured, which was really the only armoured division to operate the Pershings. Whereas pretty much every German Panzer division operated a Panther battalion. Little fun fact there. Pershing there as the command tank, Panther supporting with its high velocity gun there, go penetrating hitting on the Pershing from max range. Pushing forwards, artillery fire up north, at the base here looking to get some more kills there. Almost, got a hit there around the ambulance. If he got a direct hit, that could very well have been game over there for RpgHunter, at least a very bad situation there. Veterans 1 on the Panther. MU-42 Panzer was installing up the rifle advance in the centre. RpgHunter certainly getting more, well, scattered. His attacks are lacking less and less punch. I mean, less and less punch in them there versus Spanky, which all makes it even more easy for Spanky to deal with. I mean, he's not trying to flank, he's sort of just running straight at Spanky. There you go, Ralph running straight at the Panther Grenadiers. Not a good idea there at all. Not a good idea at all. Pershing sets out. Command time being fixed. Panthers, they're down to half health, down to half size overall. Shot fired, there you go. Panther shoots again, misses this time though. Or fails to penetrate, hard to say. Anti-tank gun shoots, fails to penetrate, there you go. Panther lands a hit there on the Pershing. Shan moves in, hits her from the M1. Panther turns about to shoot there as well. Misses.
Gun crew just got wiped out.
And another hit here from the howitzer. 35 kills. Got the second pack howitzer. Another pack 40 there for Spanky. And the second Panzer Division. Pack howitzer completely annihilated.
A capture point is under attack.
Command tank opening up, and the Rangers trying to hide up. They've got the Pershing up east, but very important to note is it's pretty much doing it with no infantry support. Though there is some infantry following up, it's still operating without support from there. Go wiping out the Pioneers. Bit of a loss there for Spank is that he doesn't activate any more Pioneers. That's a bit of a problem for him. He needs to replace them, but it's going to take a bit of a while there. Troops moving up, they're getting suppressed by the MD-42 here. Command tank supporting, 2-2 joining a bit of the fun. In the west, we've got the Major moving here, we've got Panther moving to cut off the path here, and there you go. Pershing trying to get a bit close, getting some shots. He's got, I mean, a ton of munitions. You could use combined arms, for example, with the Pershing, just boost his range and rate of fire, and then combine that on top of that with an HVAP round at sort of the right time. But so far, seems like he, like so many other players, except for Lucky Strike, just do not use combined arms, despite being a really, really good ability. Sherman there about to get flanked by the command tank. Shot bounces though. Panther moving up as well, ignoring the Pershing. Bold move there by Spanky, but then again he's kind of thinking probably go just for you to target it. There you go, good hit on the Sherman there by the Panther, half hit 22. Command tank taking hits there. Panther moving up closer here, bit risky there. I mean, it does ease the chance of the Sherman penetrating the Panther, but there you go, penetrating hit there. I won't be a bit careful about getting too close. Poor handling there, poor handling. Getting up maneuver there. Rotation of the Panther isn't that fast. Thankfully though, RpgHunter is moving over his, well, Pershing to assist here. And there you go with that. RpgHunter's spirit is broken. A victory for the German army. A loss here for the United States. RpgHunter overall starting out nicely there versus Spanky, punishing him for his T2 rush. But the problem was he wasn't able to consolidate with mines. And, you know, he didn't use his doctrine very efficiently overall. He used some ranges of Pershing and some smoke. Smoke was a bit loose, they still used it, but there was just no mines, no sandbags. And there was certainly no combined arms, which would lead to, again, I think, a greater edge there versus the Panther, who then coordinated quite well. Jackson Tank Destroyer would also served him quite nicely, but overall, a lot of mines, though. I mean, weapon racks with BARs and bazookas. I mean, a lot of things the RpgHunter could have done. Ultimately, got increasingly more scattered with his forces. They were trying to make sort of bigger pushes, you know, supporting each other very well. So there were some issues there. Spanky, again, rough start, but managed to turn around there. Bit risky playing for the Panther, but he was able to pull it off, though I would say his Panther handling could be a bit better. Mine certainly paid off there for Spanky, so that was great. He could have done with some more infantry sooner and could have worked it with the half-take sooner, but there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, one, subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, send in replay and apply some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.